I have a slope just going down like this. What I want to do is I want to round the back, flat the top, round, a gentle slope to the front here, and it makes a little valley where the beak meets the forehead. And so I want to get that little valley in there, and that'll help the beak start popping out. So here you can see that profile. It's curving in the back, flat, and then sloping down to the front, hits a little valley, and then the beak pops out. Also on the front side here, the front is sloped up. I have a little bit of a slope here and a sloping in here, flat top with a little bit of curve. They have a really boxy looking head. I'm going to take the beak here and bring it to a point. It starts on top here, it's thin all along the ridge, so it's thin, goes out, and then comes back in. So it makes like a diamond shape or a football shape. When you have a little piece like this that you have to get rid of, just take the tip of your carving bar and just move it back and forth like this on either side, and it'll round it out for you. So now what I want to do is define this line right here coming down. For the leg, I'm just going to make it go like this. It's just going to be kind of fluffy feathers coming down right to the ankle. So I just need to make that form, and I'm going to redraw this line going right down to there. So we'll continue defining the legs here. What you have to imagine is the belly coming down, and it's going to go in between the legs and meet up with these tail feathers behind the legs. So this is just going to scoop down and just make your guess. So it's going to get back here. So you're going to cut that through in this shape. And then here, get some little feathery thighs going on down to some ankles. Don't go too thin with your ankles. We got these thighs kind of rounded out and formed. We got some negative space behind here and here. Now we need to define the talons. So we want to put a slope on this first. Get a little slope cut going right up to these ankles here, and then we'll go ahead and draw in the talons. Okay, so we basically have 3 talons in front and 1 in back. So I just drew them on like that, and now I'm going to take the carving bar and remove the wood around it. So here's, so you can see how this is starting to look here. Okay, so you can see here we carved away some of this wood in here. We cut some slopes away so the rain goes off. And also I cut a line here the shape of the rock. So the back of the rock is going to be right behind, right where these tail feathers meet up. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove this wood around to reveal that rock. I revisited the back of this and using the photos just tried to get this to look, you know, refine it a little bit, make it look more proper proportions. And then took my sketch and started drawing on all these details here of the feathers, these lines coming in here. So I drew those lines in. I'm going to go ahead and cut these lines out, and those will define where the feathers are going. So if we take a look at the sketch here, you know, I put this line in, and then I put this line in, and then this line in, and then this line. And on the back side, they meet together in the middle here. The other thing you want to notice is this. These tail feathers crisscross. So you want to include that detail in, and then the tail feathers will stick out underneath those. Okay, for these rounded feathers, I'm going to switch over to my dime tip bar. There's lots of different ways you can do these types of feathers. The way I'm going to experiment with today is just hit it with my top edge, come like this, round down, and then come back up with the bottom edge. So you're doing this kind of U-shaped thing, like this. You can also do this with smaller power tools, which we'll get into later. Okay, for these straight feathers, I'm going to take the dime tip bar and just come in like this and just make a series of cuts and work your way all the way up, and it should give the illusion that they're overlapping each other. Starting here, this one's on top, and then they overlap each other all the way over to here. Now the next row I'm going to do here is the same thing, it's just wider feathers.